And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 598. Is that right? I need to recheck that. That's crazy. Today is, what's today? Wednesday, September 23rd, and I'm your host, King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday. And today's top stories, of course, I missed yesterday, so I definitely went back to some of yesterday's top stories. I was running around the city yesterday, couldn't get back. Bitcoin Day still on the East Coast running around. So today's top stories: institutional investors plan to buy every Bitcoin. Price dip data suggests. U.S. banking regulator authorizes federal banks to hold reserves for stablecoins. Major banks implicated in the FinCEN leak take a beating in the stock market. Uni market cap rebounds 120 million as the rest of crypto market falters. Venezuela legalizes crypto mining but will force industry into national pools. And Bitcoin related ads are now streaming on Disney Plus in some regions thanks to ZebPay. So a lot of great things going on. And of course, at the start of the show, want to give a shout out to one of our crypto warriors again, Minho Donahue. Look, I'm so excited, people. I told you yesterday or Monday when I was on about one of the new hoodies I got been wearing around. I had another one come in. Technically, this one is for Bitcoin Day, but since he hasn't been here, hoodie game is now officially mine. Tell him, LA won't recognize when we come back. I am the captain now. But in all seriousness, I also want to give a shout out to Crypto Blood, because I also realized this isn't the best hoodie for me to wear around LA. So Crypto Blood, I'm going to be sending this to you. I just put it on before the show. It's brand new, man. This is all for you to go with your show. That way we can spread the love. Again, people, that's from Minho Donahue. I'll actually just bring up that website one more time. We're not making any money off it either. This is just to support him and what he has going on. It's some cool Bitcoin gear. It's something we have been after for a long time. I kept asking people where to find Bitcoin gear myself, and he filled a need that people wanted. So shout out to him. And again, this one, like the one from Monday, is super soft, super comfortable, and I can even see myself going to sleep in it type of deal. But even better when I walk around town as a conversation starter, that big Bitcoin B. If you're in any other place but Los Angeles. No. All right, now to go into the real deal of the day. These prices, take a look at them before we break into the stories. Bitcoin, I guess you can say it's up, but it's really the same. It's up 0.21%, $10,482. Ethereum is down 0.84%, $339.27. Ripple is at 23 cents, down 0.07%. Yeah, that's not even a real number in crypto, right? It's down 0.07. We don't do that. Let's just start putting zeros across the lane when there's anything less than 1%. Chainlink, $8. To be fair, for the institutional investors, they're not going to hear that. They're like, no, I got $1 billion in this account. I want to know every percent drop. So to be fair, Chainlink, $8.31, down 5.52%. Stellar is at 7 cents, up 0.37%. Let's see, who else do we have on here? Litecoin at $44.48, up 0.94%. So of course, a lot of green, a lot of red, a big mix of all different types. But by and large, Bitcoin is around the same price we've seen that now for the better part of this year, bouncing between this 10 to 11K price range. A lot of people are saying now that we won't ever see it go below $6,700. But a lot of people are also saying we might see it retrace, and we can't break through this 11.2 mark as well. So we will see what happens, right? I mean, this is the fun thing of crypto, and of course, no one can guess it right now. What's going on, Tiffany from New York? Sabotage. I think I said, I did say that right. What's going on? Tony Nolly, Moni Love, Cozy Media, Allison Thompson. Hello, all. So not necessarily the top story, but what I want to lead with is this story. Since we're talking about the price of Bitcoin, institutional investors plan to buy every Bitcoin. Price dip data suggests. Now, again, this is one of those things where it's a bullish sentiment to hear and to see these institutional funds coming out talking about this, but it looks like a new survey commissioned by crypto asset insurance company Evertas. Hey, low-key flex. All right, Evertas, way to get up in there. A cryptocurrency insurance firm found that institutional investors plan to significantly increase their stakes in Bitcoin and other digital assets in the future. After surveying 50 institutional investors that collectively manage over $78 billion in assets in the United States and United Kingdom, a standout response was that 26% of participants believe that pension funds, insurers, family offices, and sovereign wealth funds will raise their stakes in cryptocurrency drastically. 64% of participants believe the increase in interaction will be moderate, but the group also expects that hedge funds will be more actively engaged in crypto. 32% of those respondents believe that hedge funds will increase their holdings drastically. So again, I point all of this out because these are all bullish sentiments. They're basically saying, at least for the institutional investors in the UK and the US, their survey, their guess is that, hey, 1 out of every 4 of us will begin to invest in crypto. And they're also saying, this same group is saying, when it comes to hedge funds, you can expect 1 of every 3 of them almost, right? So that's a pretty good number to go from 0 to 1 out of 25%, 26%, 1 of every 4, 32%, 33%, 1 of every 3. Those are new people. Is more money into this to the cryptocurrency market. And of course, if one of those projects, if one of those people, companies, if anybody in that space takes off, is always this competition. Like, just because they did it first, we can do it better. So you can expect one hedge fund to jump on it. If they make a lot of money, they have a great quarter, you can expect the next one to jump on it, and so on and so forth. So great news when it comes to the bullish sentiment of the market. And also want to point out how Evertos, I don't know why I said also twice. Evertos, the cryptocurrency insurance firm, I like how they did this business here. For anyone looking to enter the Bitcoin space or the cryptocurrency space, and I know Bitcoin Zay talks about it in his book, Bitcoin in Black America, how basically every industry can enter. These are some things you can do to push yourself ahead of the pack and make yourself notice. Take initiative. Evertos commissioned their own report. They did their own survey. And I'm telling you, to do this, it probably took someone, an intern in there, getting a list of 100, 150 different institutional investment offices in the US and UK, and literally going down asking for comments when it comes to 2 or 3 questions. Hey, do you think hedge funds will invest in crypto? Hey, do you think institutional investors? And just yes or no, and boom, that's your survey they commissioned right there. It could be that simple. So if you're looking to get in crypto and you don't know how to make a splash or whatever, commission a survey, people. Commission a survey. Call up some of these offices, these institutional investors who have billions of dollars, who places like this want to hear about, and boom, there's your foot in the door. Sergeant Crypto, what's going on? Hello. Okay, U.S. banking regulator authorizes federal banks to hold reserves for stablecoins. That is right, people. Crazy news today. Federal banks in the United States see new capacity to provide services to crypto firms, specifically with stablecoin operators. This story actually came out a couple of days ago, toward the end of the day, but this is crazy to see because it goes back to what we continuously say, that the war is won. At first, government and banks tried so hard to fight back. I mean, again, I remember being sat down in the Bank of America office in 2016, like I was a child, being asked why I was buying Bitcoin and all this, just this rundown of questions. It was crazy. So to go from there in 2016 to 2020, where they're like now like, all right, we're going to hold some stable coins in the reserves. And you know what? We might actually start messing with some CBDCs. It's crazy to actually see that when you've personally been affected by it, but it's happening. And again, this is always good as a base hit to the main goal of mass adoption, right? But it looks like per an interpretive letter from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency released on Monday, national banks will be free to hold reserve currencies for stablecoins. The new guidance read, we conclude that a national bank may hold such stablecoin reserves as a service to bank customers. Oh, thank you, Big Daddy government, for allowing a private company to hold private citizen stablecoins. We appreciate you all giving us your blessing. It's crazy. What's interesting about this, even more interesting about this, is this quote that came out of the article. It said, alongside the announcement, acting comptroller of the currency, Brian Brooks, noted that stablecoin services are already a part of many banks' activities. What? You don't say. National banks and federal savings associations currently engage in stablecoin related activities involving billions of dollars each day. Okay, so here's my question. Like, how is this working? If you just got permission from the government, which it sounds like you need it, but you already been doing it for billions of dollars in transactions or activities a day, how is this legal? I don't know. I know the government's going after every small mom and pop operation out there for any gray line regulatory issue they may have overstepped or boundary they may overstep. Whereas you have banks coming out saying, oh, And I'm telling you, this is the crazy part of the banks. They probably came out to make this statement to sound like we've been in crypto. We're not new to stablecoins. You can trust us. But instead, it's actually being pointed out, as I'm pointing out, like, oh, so you basically saying you've been doing it illegally for I don't know how many years or how long now, right? You just came out and said that's crazy. But, you know, I get it. This is the future. This is what's happening. And even more important, is kind of going to show, and the rest of the next couple of stories are going to piggyback on this, that banks are getting away with murder, right? They want to see banks succeed. They want to see these institutional investors succeed. And it looks like the only stable coins right now that will be allowed to be held at banks will be things like Tether. I'm assuming Gemini stablecoin would be in there, but they are excluding stable coins like Saga or Libra, basically those that are privately owned by people who didn't get down or lay down or bend thy knee, as we often say these days. So every other stable coin right now, I'm thinking, was it Paxful one of them? I had one. I'm assuming those types are going to be the ones that are going to be held at banks in the short term until, the United States or some of these banks come up with their own CBDC. So we'll see. What's going on, P-Man Van? PFC Wells, what's going on track? P-Man Van said, first they ridicule you, then they fight you, then they come join the fun. You know what I mean? It's crazy. PFC Wells said, there's a setup. I was wondering how Kraken got the charter before Coinbase. Look, I mean, again, it's one of those things where we're seeing it in real time. This isn't people saying, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. It's like, no, you have some random crypto exchange that has, I won't say been obsolete, but it hasn't been used in I don't know how many years, get a U.S. bank charter, and then a week later, you have banks are allowed to hold reserves in stable coins. A great point out. It's one of those things where it's like we're seeing it happen right in front of us. But it's also, like you said, it's also about the narrative that they market to bring people into the fold. Hey, we never said it was going to be pretty. Clearly it's not. But again, this is what it takes for mass adoption. And there's nothing we can stop, really. So it is what it is. Speaking of banks, though, major banks implicated in the FinCEN leak take a beating in the stock market. That's right. If you hadn't heard about the story that broke a few days ago, this is the new one, but the story that broke a few days ago said banks cleared over $2 trillion in suspicious transactions in the last few years, from 1997 to 2017. It was a 20-year period which listed many financial institutions facilitating over $2 trillion worth of suspicious transactions. This is a tongue twister. The major banks who were mentioned, which again, this was a recent FinCEN leak, were subsequently thrashed by the market. Now you can see here about all these market dips. Come on, we already know the main culprits out here, right? Deutsche Bank. Didn't they get hacked a couple years ago? Exit scam. That's all I think about now. When it comes out, you got $2 trillion total missing transactions. It looks like Deutsche Bank has the hump of it at $1.3 trillion. And within, what was it, a couple years ago, all of a sudden you get hacked or exit, whatever, you lose money, $300 million here, $100 million there. Deutsche Bank. JP Morgan Chase, come on, the dinosaur diamond. We knew you were up in there. Standard Chartered, we don't hear about you much, but whatever. Bank of New York Mellon, Barclays, Jay-Z, say it ain't so, homie. So Science, I don't know who that is. And HSBC, this was what's crazy about that. This is a 20-year thing. They got HSBC at $4 billion. Now, we already know HSBC got caught up within the last 20 years for laundering cartel money. I'm not going in too deep on that because it ain't my business, right? But seriously, so some of that money right there is accounted for. So what's crazy is that we already know about what HSBC does and with who, their clients, the cartel, and what type of business they're all involved in. And that's only $4 billion. So what type of business is Deutsche Bank and JP Morgan in where you see upwards of $514 billion or $1.3 trillion of transactions you can't find as a bank? All right, first of all, we know JP Morgan had that big Coke shit that magically disappeared out the news. And Deutsche Bank, again, weren't they just hacked like a year or so ago or a couple years ago for like $300 million that mysteriously disappeared or whatever, right? So again, people, it's one of those things where, you know, I know people love the government says this and the regulators and the laws say this and all this say this. But the truth of the matter is that the banks run it. They run just about every country out there and they run it. So with that being said, I say all that to kind of point it back to crypto when it comes to some of the moves you make in crypto, especially as business owners. I know we got a lot of crypto business owners here. Hey, I'm not saying the path is easy, but you can't be scared to stake your own path because a group of people says otherwise. Because clearly there are a lot of people getting away with illegal activities. And to keep it real, I mean, for a lot of people, you can, let's see, we're kind of seeing it this year, actually. there's a lot of crime, white collar crime going on in the banking sector, right? Especially with unemployment and all that kind of stuff. It's happening widespread. So it's one of the things the government hasn't really paid attention to. As you can see here, these leaked documents from the U.S. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, imply that the agency's revamped efforts to identify illicit transactions and money laundering may not be sufficient. But on this occasion, the institutions described as being at fault are not crypto exchanges, but some of the world's best known banks. Again, this is that story. It goes more in depth on it. This is on Cointelegraph as well. FinCEN leaks suggest new AML measures may not go far enough for banks. And again, the point of these articles is that these same regulators are now trying to bring these same measures over to crypto when they clearly do not work for the banking sector. So they have no say when it comes to crypto. They're not educated enough, nor do they have the experience or the wins. I mean, if you just want to win-loss column, the banks are smacking y'all around. So until they figure out the banking sector, again, I say you should kind of do your own thing when it comes to crypto. Make sure you stack some money just in case the gang known as the SEC, the police, and all them do come for you. But definitely don't be scared to make innovative moves in this market because the government is being constricted, especially in like places like New York, right? It's crazy. What's going on, Malik Howard? Wire Sparks said, I want to know what happened to the boat full of coke that was owned by JP Morgan Chase. Exactly. Don't we all? P-Man Van said, Deutsche Bank, the ultimate shitcoin stop. Did anyone get charged for it? Listen, all I'm saying is when you got a ship of cocaine, you don't hear no names after that. We all know what happened. P-Man Van, this is actually a great point here. Could this be the start of the feds to eliminate commercial banks? Very possible. I mean, we've already seen more research that's like it's not even a need for a bank. Everything's about to go digital, right? So if you can centralize that as far as where the government and the Fed goes, and they can literally just control everything from a server or computer, then there isn't a need for a lot of these other competitors. There's a way to get rid of them now. So, I mean, that is one angle to look at it from, for sure. Also, what was it? We had a comment I want to get back to. From last show, the Open Economy Initiative was asking about CipherTrace. We're talking about all this government stuff, so it made me think about it. I was asked, do I think CipherTrace knew about the 625 bounty in advance? Timing of their claim was suspiciously close to IRS announcement, and CipherTrace is funded by DHS. That was a great point. I would say anyone in the cybersecurity community knows about a lot of this stuff, whether they're with DHS or not. If they're doing their jobs appropriately, and it's something that big, it's one of those things where like you kind of, you hear about it. It's like industry news. Like, it's the same way sometimes we hear about pumping dumps or something. It's like, yeah, somebody on some Twitter account somewhere is trying to pump something or whatever's happening. It's like one of those underground things on the forums, right? I think it's the same thing, and I've kind of seen it's the same thing with some cybersecurity experts. So with them working with DHS, again, who knows? But if you have to ask the question, listen, I'm one of those type of people where if you got to ask, is it worth it? And to me, it's always a no. All right. Another top story, actually. Uni market cap rebounds $120 million as rest of crypto market falters. This was today. I mean, hey, check in right now if you are a part of this Uniswap Rollercoaster. I mean, it has been going up and down and back up and around. This last week has been crazy. I've been seeing posts everywhere about it. I saw some people post, I guess it was another airdrop for people who received the first airdrop or something. I don't know what's going on anymore. This is getting out of control. But if it was a second airdrop, that is my assumption of why the price dipped initially again. And then the rebound, of course, are people finding out about it and saying, hey, I'm going to buy it just in case there's a third airdrop. Like, this is literally how the psychology of the market works. So it looks like, again, data from CoinGecko shows that the price of Uni token has increased by just under 20% from $3.80 to over $4.60 over the same time frame. This led to the coin's market cap by jumping by nearly $120 million from $460 million to just under $580 million, around 1,300 UTC. At press time, Uni had a market cap of $581 million, and individual tokens were trading at $4.75. Now, this is the crazy part of that. About that is, of course, the this sell-off that apparently happened when Uni hit a record high of $8.40 on Friday, which we talked about. The coin slid across the weekend and to the new week, hitting a low of $3.44 yesterday on Tuesday. So, I mean, people, that is crazy. We literally see this thing shoot up hundreds of percents. I don't even know the exact number. I haven't looked at it. To $8.40, and then it drops down to $3.44 over a weekend. And then for those who bought into that dip, like I said, you saw a nice little bump right back today at 20%. So this is crazy. This is crazy, but this is also crypto. This is the good thing about crypto. This is where you can make your money, right? And regardless of the Uniswap, if the hype is over or not, I guarantee there are still some great opportunities to buy in or sell depending on what you want to do, because they have a community, right? The hype is real. They had a good little week or whatever. It will die down eventually, like all cryptos do as far as the hype. But the community might not. The community might stay there. So I want to point that out, because this, just like Dogecoin, as long as you pay attention to these coins, you see them dipping, they keep dipping. You dollar cost average your buys and all that good stuff. When that day comes, when the Bitcoin market is having that crazy bull run and it's pumping again, we have one of those good weeks, expect something like this to pump as well, because they have that community around them. And that'll be some of those Twitter people I tell you about who would jump on, get on the horn, get on the Telegram, and make sure it's getting pumped. So something to keep thinking about. But yeah, Uni, again, roller coaster. If you're on it, let me know how that's going, and has it been worth it? I'm sure it has been for some. All right, Venezuela legalizes crypto mining, but will force industry into national pool. Big news, people. Big news. As we always say, when some of these countries decide to do whatever they want to do in crypto, they are actually setting precedent for other countries, at least in terms of a testing ground. Other countries are going to look at this and see how it works, does it work, and if they can duplicate it, right? Or even make it better. As the headline says, this is happening. Venezuela's government has given cryptocurrency miners mixed news this week. First, the government's department responsible for regulating cryptos has legalized the mining industry. But the new decree published in the official Gazette on Monday, authorized by Jose Lit Ramirez, head of National Superintendency of Crypto Assets and Related Activities, stated that any local entity wishing to enter mine cryptos must apply for a license and be listed on a government register. Applicants will need to hand over information to authorities on the nature of their mining activities and keep their mining related records for 10 years. So there's all different types of licenses. That won't be the only one. There's different levels and tiers, of course. But what's even more important is that the importing and manufacturing of mining equipment will be supervised by Venezuelan authorities. As well, all mining activities must be carried out through an official national digital mining pool, with those who operate outside of it to face penalties. So they are literally creating a monopoly on the mining pool in Venezuela. As we say for some of these governments, their gangs get down or lay down, and this they're basically saying, they're like, hey, all right, whatever. I guess mining's legal here. You're gonna do it for the government, or you're gonna face penalty. I mean, they just say it. You're gonna face a penalty. That's hilarious. Centralized mining in this way would mean that government is able to control any income earned from the pool's combined mining rewards, as well as paying out to contributors. So with Venezuela's track record, we already know how that's going to play out, right? But more importantly, it's playing out. It's happening. They're trying it, right? And if it works, if Venezuela starts mining, right, and they figure out a way to become more efficient, like the Antminer and Jahan Wu, right? If they figure out something that no one else has figured out, or they're mining at a pace where it makes the industry and everyone actually look like, oh, hey, well, they're aggressively becoming a bigger mining pool. This may signal other countries to do the same, to say, hey, we can't have that. We cannot have Venezuela with a 30% whatever part of the mining pool. Of course, I'm not saying that's going to happen, highly unlikely. But other countries will look at it the same way, especially as the news keeps building. First, it was banks are considering CBDCs and digital wallets. Now they're allowing us to hold stablecoins. When that day comes, when we have these CBDCs and we have these mining pools and you have X, Y, and Z, it will be too late. So I can see this, again, I can see this starting off in Venezuela, and I can see it being copied in other countries. And as the margin of Bitcoin you can receive continues to decrease, as more people buy it, lose it, whatever, countries are going to be in a fight to say, just like it was for gold, we can't have this country having 10%, 3% of crypto mining, facilities. We need to up our number as well. So I think the proliferation of mining facilities might increase if Venezuela does this right. So I'm actually leaning on Venezuela. The world is looking at Venezuela to see if they can actually establish a great government-run mining program. Now, I said Venezuela establishing a great government-run mining program. I know that's like an oxymoron, right? Jumbo shrimp. but it could happen. If they do anything at a C grade level, I think other countries are going to copy, and they're going to copy rather quickly. So, and again, the crazy thing about this, when you talk about jobs, if they do this at a C level and other countries copy, overnight you will see we need people to manage miners. We need people to come in who has blockchain experience. You will see that happen overnight. So something to pay attention to for sure. P-Man Van said hash wars coming. Exactly. Hash wars are next. Wire Spark said pass. The Venezuelan government is going to have to remove their hands from the crypto space before it will be good news to me. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you in that statement. But again, like I say, it's just a base hit. At the very least, they're sparking the interest. They're having other governments at least consider it because as much as we don't want to listen to them, if they do something and it works just a little bit, the countries around them will be affected. And of course, when it comes over to our side of the world, the United States will definitely have a say in how they feel about that. So I'm with you. I don't listen to them too much either. It's a strong pass, but I pay attention to it just in case. All right, and to end on a great news story, Bitcoin-related ads are now streaming on Disney Plus in some regions thanks to Zap Pay. It says, learn about simple, secure Bitcoin, the ad states. I actually love this ad. I saw the screenshot of it. It was very simple, and that's what people need right now. The one thing that people know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I don't care if they don't know anything else. The one thing that everyone does know is that it's complicated, right? It's like it's technology, it's new technology. It's tough to understand, and I don't got time for it. Like that is the basis for a lot of people when they think about it. So when you have advertising, you do have to keep it simple, right? Layman terms. We saw that with the ad. I can't remember which company had the gold ad for, gold is too heavy to carry around. And they kept it really simple. Gold was heavy and crypto was digital on your cell phone, right? But it looks like crypto exchange ZebPay has launched a campaign with ads featuring Bitcoin during the Indian Premier League cricket games. Now I know here in the U.S., cricket is not big, but over there it is huge. As reported by Twitter user Mohit Ray Sharma, ads for ZebPay appeared on Indian streaming platform Disney Plus Hotstar during a series of cricket matches starting September 19. Quote, learn about simple, secure Bitcoin, the ad stated, directing viewers to pay just over $1 to start using the exchange. Again, very simple, and they're just saying, hey, you got $1, you can get involved in crypto now. We don't know what they told you. You don't need $10,400. You need $1 to jump on right now. So that was pretty cool to see. Sharma stated that the ads represent a historic moment for crypto in India. I will go further and say historic moment for crypto worldwide to have this type of commercial and platform. They said more than 462 million people watched the Indian Premier League games in 2019, with roughly 300 million tuning in using the Hotstar platform. So you may have possibly advertised to up to 300 million people all in one sitting, and that's no telling how many people they told about it, right? But here's the ad. Again, it looks really cool. Learn about Bitcoin learn about simple, secure Bitcoin on ZebPay, $1 to start. So really cool to see that ad again. So shout out to ZebPay. Hope that marketing plan goes well for them. And hopefully a lot more people in India hears about crypto and jumps on it as well. Let's see. And that is all for the day. As always, like I said, I want to give another shout out to our crypto warrior, Minho Donahue. He is doing it with these hoodies and stuff. Crypto Blood, I got you, man. I'm gonna send this your way, and I'm definitely gonna order some more. We're gonna get these out because there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I can't wait to get my hands on some more of it. Bitcoin Zay, when it comes to this crypto hoodie, I am the captain now. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share. That's the show for today. Thanks for the support. We're gonna try to come back tomorrow with some more crypto news, but again, we've been in and out, so make sure you turn on that notification bell to catch us when we're live. If not, catch that replay and leave a comment. And of course, we'll try to respond live to you as well. As always, thanks for watching. Cheers.